My name's Tyler Porch. I've been playing guitar for about 12 years now. Playing northern Atlanta-ish area. We're here at Joint Venture Studios, and we're gonna make some stuff today. I don't know what. I don't think Mike knows what, but we're gonna find out. So join us.
When I saw you, everything flooded. Like a rolling shutter to the camera hard I looked through. When I opened my mouth, no sound left. Tripped up mess inside. So easy to doubt that you're worth the trouble.
So this was really fun. I tend to like the sort of shoot from the hip mentality that you get when you do like something like this, and I definitely appreciate the Mechanics Hill marketing for having me on MPS, just because it's like it's a fun experience doing that. It's interesting going into a session not knowing what you're gonna do, because you might spend 3 hours with nothing. You know, I feel like anytime you land on an idea and it starts happening quickly, you know, there's a certain amount of luck to that. But then being able to take advantage of it, and you know, Mike being a great help, you know, fleshing out ideas and getting sounds real quick, and you know, just making things happen. So yeah, I had a blast this time at Joint Venture, and yeah, I think things I might have done differently. I might have tried to come up with a song that would lend itself to a simpler arrangement, maybe something with a little less textures, so that way you could spend more time on each texture rather than spreading focus over all the parts that need to be there to make it work. But I think overall, we did a pretty good job.
Hey, I'm Mike Strout, and this is Joint Venture Studios. First off, I'd like to thank MPS and Mechanics Hill Marketing for allowing us to be a part of this. I would have nothing if it wasn't for artists and musicians like Tyler Porch that came over for this song, Lonely is Better. It was a great time. We really had to get outside the box to create this song, and that's what really made it a lot of fun. He came over. We had no direction, no idea what we were going to do, so I started out letting him get warmed up, playing through different amps, getting some different tones, seeing what he liked. then we mic'd up a amp, and we just had a scratch track going just so he could kind of hear the song and we could start brainstorming on how we wanted to do it. It forced me as the engineer to mic up really quick, find a tone and stick with it and commit to it. In a perfect studio session where I have plenty of time to work, we can really dial in those tones, but for this we didn't have a lot of time, so really I had to move quick to get the tones that we were going to use. I was happy with them. I think they turned out great, but it forced me as an engineer to really just get the tone and commit and move to the next thing. So once we got that scratch track, we were kind of thinking, brainstorming. I said, man, we really need some percussion. Click tracks are great, but if you can have some percussion for the artist to play along with, I feel like they play better and they get into the song more. So we went to the kitchen and we were banging on pots and pans and you name it, basses, all kind of stuff. Wife wasn't home, so she still has no idea we used all her cooking ware as a drum set. But it turned out great. Brought it back to the studio, started tapping on stuff, trying to make different tones, see what kind of tones we could get out of it, different mic placements. Then we began tracking the beginning of the percussion track. Then I have an old briefcase laying around, and I grabbed that old briefcase. We threw a mic in it, mic'd the outside. That gave us our low end, like kick tone. And also when he would hit the side, that was kind of like a snare tone. So that with tapping on a pot kind of gave that snare pop that we have. So those are trademark drum tones from Joint Venture Studios. We're in the process of building a new studio, so once we get that, we'll have some more elbow room and we'll have a drum set. But for this, we really had to get outside the box, and I believe that made the song even just that much more interesting, and it was a lot of fun to create. Had a couple shakers we used. I believe it was a giraffe and a rhinoceros from my son's room. We used that for the shakers, and then after that, he laid down a bass track. We did 2 vocal tracks just to kind of beef up the vocals, but other than that, I mean, it went pretty quick once the song started to unfold. And again, I would have had nothing as an engineer if I didn't have an artist such as Tyler Porch come in, well-rounded, awesome musician. We're only as good as the performance that we're capturing. But like Tyler said, there is a bit of a luck that comes with coming into a session with no plans and no direction. And it's my job as an engineer to capture those ideas as they're happening a lot of the time, because if I don't, in 2 or 3 minutes they're gone and we can't remember how to get back to where we were. And I'm sure all the writers out there kind of know how important it is to capture those ideas as they happen. I believe that it's a magical thing, and when an artist is on, you got to be there to hit record. But we had a really good time. I'm really impressed and surprised at how well the song turned out. And I look forward to the next one.